Good morning, everybody. Today is March 18th, 2011. Um, for those who are watching this video on YouTube or listening to this video on YouTube, I want you to know that these videos, if you want to hear these videos in order, you can go to my MySpace page, which I recommend, so you can get the full and complete story. The videos that's on my MySpace page on the front, on the right hand side, those tapes are in chronological order from the top to the bottom. It says Q&A part 1, Q&A part 2. I recommend that you listen to those videos because you will hear these tapes in order. Right now, if you're listening to this on YouTube, you're not really hearing it in order. But the majority of the videos are there. It's a lot of videos, it's a lot of information, and the videos are long. Some of the videos are 30 minutes, 45 minutes. There are some videos I think that are 2.5 hours long. But I still ask, if you want to know the true story, that you listen to them. You obviously can pause them and take note of where you paused it and resume, watching the video later on or the next day when you have time. But to thoroughly get all the information, I do recommend that. There are hours and hours and hours of video. The reason there's so much information is because this is a situation that has been going on over 10 years. So for the most of this time, most of these 10 years, people had no knowledge or no clue of what's been going on because it's been going on behind the scenes. And the reason it's been going on behind the scenes and you've not heard of me and this and that and the rest is because I'm a private person. And there are a lot of people around Wayne who know who I am, who know the love I brought into his life, who know the story, as you can hear when you listen to the tapes on the MySpace blog. And some people, I get emails because people are getting this the information, and it's kind of from, they're not hearing it in order from my MySpace page. They're just hearing it on YouTube, so they're not getting the whole story. So basically, if you go to the MySpace page, it tells the whole story. And if you go to the MySpace blog, that's where the tapes of me and Wayne are, and they're added. More will be added, but I've had such a busy schedule that I haven't had time to add more. But there's a whole lot more that will be added. But in the meantime, there's probably about at least 60, 70, 80 tapes there of me and Wayne, just snippets of conversation with me and his friends, so you can see who I am. And that the things that I'm telling you are indeed true. Wayne himself, there's tapes of him himself on the blog. I ask that you also look at the videos on the YouTube page. Some of them are repetitive, but that's because the information needs to get out to as many people as possible. The reason why there's so many videos, and there's actually going to be much more videos than what you've seen so far, is because the lies about me, the lies about Wayne, the lies about our relationship, the lies that Toya has put out there, which has gone far. This is the reason why there has to be so much broadcasting and so much tapes of me telling the truth. It may seem that it's repetitive to people who know the story, but you have to understand there's still people who don't know the story, and they're coming into the truth for the first time. So if I were to make 1 or 2 videos, that would not do anything. It has to be on a grand scale, and I have to do it. It can't, literally it falls into my hands because you say, well, why doesn't Wayne do it? Wayne has to do his career. And not only that, I am the one in our relationship who has been walking with the Lord the longest, who has the most understanding of what's going on. Wayne has had people who are supposed to love him, like his mother and others, who intentionally keep him in the dark, who can intentionally want him to be in the dark. See, there's a lot of people out there who do not want these tapes released. They don't want you to hear this YouTube video, this MySpace video. They don't want you to know this because they've been fronting lies. There's a lot of people who came against me when me and Wayne's relationship began in the year 2001. And for well, I know the reason. The reason is our relationship is of God, and the devil likes to attack the things of God. The enemy attacking me, when I say the enemy, I mean the devil. The devil is real. And when I say the devil, I want to make it real clear, okay? I don't want anything to be left to the imagination. I'm going to explain every single detail. But when I say the devil, I don't mean Satan himself, okay? Uh, he is ultimately responsible for all the evil that comes against the good, but there's many demons underneath Satan or the devil who do his work. So, but you can chalk it all up to the devil. So that's what I mean when I say the devil. But anyway, I'm not new to the enemy, the devil, attacking my life. He's been doing it since I was a kid. He tried to prevent my conception, and that's because I am planted on this earth by God. And to speak the words of the Lord, and anything like that, the devil does not like. So he uses people that he can use. He cannot use everybody. He uses specific people. This is why people who are used by the devil regularly, they're damned people, because he can't use everyone. He uses specific people, and they have to allow him to use them. There is no the devil made me do it, because if there was, we would not have to suffer the consequences for our actions. You know, God does not allow us to say the devil made us do it, because he's given us a way out, and that's what the word says. There is no temptation that has taken man, but such as common to man. But God, with the temptation, has made a way of escape. Okay? You're going to hear me talk about the word a lot, about God a lot, because that's my life. That was my life before I met Wayne. That's going to always be my life, because God is the foundation of my life. So when you know that, you understand what all this is. It's evil attacking good. There are so many lies that has been put out in front of your eyes by Jacita and by Toya. Those are the two people who are causing the problems and causing the confusion in Wayne's life. Primarily his mother. And I have to make this clear, because prior to Toya coming into Wayne's life, and Toya is only a result of his mother's suggestion. I mean, I say it all the time, but you have to understand this. Before Toya ever came into Wayne's life, his mother had already been doing evil in his life. Now, I'm going to tell things exactly how they are. I love my husband, I respect my husband, and I know it's not comfortable for me to come out with this, but it's necessary according to God's commandment to me. And people have to understand. They say, well, why would you put all this dirty laundry out there? It's not dirty laundry. What it is that God's will has to be maintained and established no matter what. God will always protect his will. He'll always speak the truth about it. The things that he plant, they have to be protected. If there's lies put against them, they have to be annihilated. They have to be exposed. So everything that God, if you look at the word, everything that he planted, he protected. If you look at Moses, Moses was the man who was chosen to deliver the children of Israel from Egypt. Well, when he was a baby, they were killing all the Jewish kids. So you know the story, how he was saved and he was put on a raft and so on and so forth till he got to Pharaoh's daughter, and how he was saved. But he was saved because God had his hand on him, because later on in life, God had him to be the chosen one to deliver the children of Israel. So the bottom line I'm trying to say with that is, the things that God ordains, he protects them. Okay? Now, there's so many lies that have gone out, and so much confusion, because people have intentionally deceived and confused you. There is no confusion. Here is the story. Wayne and I are husband and wife. Wayne and I are called to be together by God. Our relationship started in 2001, and evil people tried to attack it. I think I made it pretty clear already why. His mother wanted him to be with Toya, because Toya was her conception. And When I came into his life, the real plan of God came into his life. His real wife came into his life. They did not like it. They could see all of the effect on Wayne. They could see Wayne in love. They can see him happy, and they tried to destroy it. They're truly evil people. But what they didn't know and couldn't see, because they do evil, they could not see that our relationship was established by God. They did not understand it, but they saw that, they saw the length of it, they saw the intensity of it, and they saw the impact on Wayne. So they knew that Wayne had been involved as a, younger, with other broads, and those other broads did not have the impact on Wayne that I had. So they knew it was something that was different, and they knew it was long lasting. That's why they knew it was going somewhere, and it is going somewhere. And that's why they tried to kill it. They're evil. People say, well, what sense does that make? Because a lot of people who you know have common sense or whatever, they can see, well, why, what is the intention. People keep asking me, what is the reason. Well, the reason is, like I said, the devil coming against evil. But it does not, it is senseless. It's senseless. And so it's one of those senseless evil things. Now, I'm one of those kind of people. I don't need to be seen. I don't have no uh desire to be seen all the time and trying to get in front of the camera, this, that, and the rest. You know what I'm saying? So this is why you haven't seen me. Wayne has been wanting me to go public for a long time. He wanted our relationship to go public. And if I had known, I mean, no one can predict someone's going to get out in front of the world, pretend to be you, con a lot of people, and do the things that Toya has done. That's not something that a person can foresee. You wouldn't think that someone would be that stupid, or that it's just something that you can't foresee. So now you have the truth coming out, because God won't be defeated. And if people would understand that, they would save themselves a whole lot of effort for something that's not going to work. Um, his mother is behind most of this. His mother, like I said, is the reason Toya came into his life. People can't see that his mother is behind this, behind a lot of, behind the lies, behind the confusion, behind uh, Toya coming out and to the world. She is the author of her coming into his life in the first place. Now, everything that Toya has done has not been inspired by his mother, but the point I'm trying to make is his mother is the first thing that brought her out. His mother is the author of many, many evil things, and people cannot see her because she has intentionally been in the background. And a lot of times the devil does not want you to see him. He does not want you to detect him. For him to go out into people's lives and wreak havoc, and he's using a particular person, he won't bring that person to the forefront, to the attention of people's eyes, because they can see where he's seated. He's seated in certain people. And those people like to remain hidden so that they can do their evil in the dark and you don't detect them. One of the reasons why they hate me so much is because I push them out into the forefront and shed light on them. The devil does not like that. The devil wants to remain hidden so that he can do his evil in the dark, so that no one can see the place he's operating from. And if you don't know the place he's operating from, you can't bring that down. And so he can continue to go on and wreak hell and wreak havoc and wreak chaos and wreak confusion and wreak destruction and all of that, because that's what he does. Okay? So if it were not for me, and they know this, a whole lot of what I reveal to you would not be known. You understand? Because no one else is revealing it. No one else is telling the world this. I am. And this is one of the reasons why the devil tried to kill me, because he knew I would be that chosen vessel to tell the truth to the world. And he does not want to be exposed. He wants to continue to operate through Jacita. Jacita, his mother, Wayne's mother, has been doing evil for a long time in his life. So when you're able to do evil for a long time, and for years, for 15, more than 15 years, how long? Over to 25 years or so. You dig what I'm saying? You get emboldened because no one has brought you down yet. You haven't been destroyed. It seems like you haven't even been chastised. It seems like you're doing this evil, and it seems like you're getting away with it. And the reason why the evil keeps going and keeps going and keeps going, there's a few reasons. One of the reasons is that no one has stopped it. But the reason why no one has stopped the evil, no, the reason why no one has stopped her is because God chooses specific people. He puts a calling on their life before they were born to be the ones to stop the evil. That's me. And this is why I get so much attack, because I am the end of her foolishness and her shenanigans. She cannot be the end of God's plans and God's will. God's plans and God's will are the end of her shenanigans and her foolishness and her evil. And she's been doing evil, and you've been seeing the effects. It's just that people, you've been seeing the effects even on Wayne. You've been seeing the effects through the things he's said in interviews. You've been seeing the effects of her evil in his behavior. You see the effects, but you can't tell where it's coming from, because what they intentionally do is they want to guide the mind of the people, the public, the media. And how they do that is they take pictures. This is all constructed and planned. Take pictures with Wayne, his mama, smile, everybody get into the picture, and then we put this out there, and then we tell this story, and then people believe it because you don't have any inside knowledge. So this is how they fool people. This is one of the ways they fool people. Now, if you look and listen closely, you will see the dysfunction and the effects of his mother's evil in Wayne's life through his behavior, through his music, because everything happens for a reason. You know, people don't just say things. So when he sang lyrics and fuck the world, you gotta, people don't really stop and think because they just love the music and the beat and this and that. They don't really stop and contemplate how old is he when he's singing this. He's only 16, and the songs are probably already written when he was 15. How is it that someone that young could be going through some of this real heavy stuff? And people don't stop and ask questions a lot of times. The reason why people could not see this is because they know that people have busy lives. They have kids, they have jobs, they have stresses, they have their own life. They listen to the music, they don't really think, and contemplate and question things. And so unless someone points out certain things, even though those things have been in front of your eyes the whole time, you just did not put them together. Now, if you take Wheezy in his interviews that he's done, this is the reason why people aren't putting it together. The thread of his mother's evil you can see the effects of it throughout the years. But if you're not putting it together, it's like you can't see it. When he's talking about it through his music, in subtle ways, he's not going to come out and say, my mama abused me. He's not going to say that, but you have to be able to read between the lines, okay? And you hear a song that was when he was 16, 15, 16. And then you hear him later on, a couple of years later, say something else. And then you hear him later on, say something else, like he did in Vibe magazine, where he just comes out and says, my mother left me and forgot she even had a child. And he says that, and then he just goes on and say, but what I'm saying, he just goes on and talks about something else. But it comes out, like the truth comes out, even when you're not thinking about it. It's hard to really suppress the truth forever, because you can't consciously focus on, okay, I'm going to repress the truth and I'm going to tell this lie, or I'm going to cover up the truth. You can't keep doing that because it takes work, it takes effort. And if you have a career, if you have other things in your life, you only have so much energy and you only have so much attention. So it's going to take so much effort to keep the truth down and keep the truth down and keep the truth down and tell a lie and tell a lie and tell a lie forever. Eventually, it's going to catch up with you because somewhere it's going to leak out. You see, the truth is going to leak out. And so all along, the truth is leaking out. The things I'm saying and exposing about Wayne's mother forcing him to have a child at 15 is interesting that so many people are like surprised, and yet I'm not even revealing anything. Wayne already told you what happened in November 2007 in Vibe magazine. I'm just saying, hey, look at this. Because you have to look at that to know our story. To know our love, you have to, this all this other stuff has to be exposed because his mother and Toya are putting things out in the media to make you think that uh she was his true love and this, that, and the rest. They have lied to people. They have lied through pictures. They have lied through putting things in your mind and tricking you. And it's so much detail to it. I'm going to expose every little detail. But, yeah, they have done this a long time. And what you have is you have two broads who won't accept reality, no matter how the Lord has spoken to them. God is saying, no, Toya, you're not Angela. You're not Mrs. Carter. She's going to say we are anyway. And so in their world, they work with witchcraft. They work with black magic. This is something that most of the people understand, but there are still some people who don't believe it's true, this, that, and the rest. Let me tell you something. If it wasn't true, it wouldn't be. Witchcraft is spoken of in the Bible. So you know it's true. God tells you about it. And so it's been in New Orleans a long, long time, hundreds of years. So yes, this is the reason why the things that don't work or the things that aren't real, they don't last. The reason why witchcraft and roots and black magic have lasted is because there is some uh, efficacy, if you will, effectiveness with them. But they're not effective once they come against uh, God and his plan. That's the end of evil. Now, here is a question. This is one of the main questions I get all of the time. If your relationship is of God with Wayne, then evil can't touch it. You can't go through nothing with roots. People, that's going to be... See, people talk from a place that they don't know because a lot of people haven't walked with the Lord and they don't know. Yes, evil can touch you even when you're in the Lord. And that's shown in the book of Job. That's shown through the Lord telling his people in the book of Revelation, yes, Satan will do these things to you, but this is in Revelation chapter 2, but Satan will cast you into prison. So Satan had the power to even do things to God's people. There's a but always, though. But he said, abide with me to the end and you will be brought out. So that's always the story. That's the pattern is the enemy seems to be, quote unquote, winning or coming against God's people effectively, but in the end, God delivers them. And that pattern is throughout the Bible from Genesis to Revelation. So what made them so emboldened, Jacita and Toya, in doing their evil is it seemed like they were getting away with it. It's a deception. Now, when you have common sense and you have some morals, you say, well, if I start this project or this deception, if I start this thing in lies, if I start this thing in lying and conning people, this thing is doomed. It's not going to go anywhere. But they are so hell-bent on doing their evil and having something that's not theirs that it's like the devil has blinded them. They're blinded. If they had common sense, they would say, let us stop coming against God's plans. We're losing. We're not going to win. You see what I'm saying? But they're so invested in their evil because it seems like they were, if you want to say quote unquote winning, they never were winning, but they have been able to do so much evil for a while that they feel like they can do it forever. And this is, I always say, when you hear my voice, it's a rap, and it is a rap because God sent me to stop that bullshit. And that's why they don't like me, because I have the power to stop them. They don't have the power to stop me. They don't have the power to stop the things of God. The things of God have the power to put an end to the evil and to expose it. They can't expose me on anything because there's nothing to expose me on. They are the lie. They are the fraud. His mother wants you to believe that Toya is me, that Toya is his real wife. Well, why would she want you to believe that? Because Toya is her brainchild. Toya came into his life because his mother made him have a child with anybody. And he asked a lot of girls, and they said no. And so his mother suggested Toya, and Toya agreed. Wayne never chose her from day one. That's the real story. So when they put, so anyway, that's the reason why his mother is very, extremely ignorant. So she fights because she sees me as a threat to her plan, her brainchild, her grandchild. She does not have the common sense to say, hey, I made my son do this when he was 15. It's not going to work. It's an asinine plan. She doesn't have any common sense. She's going to say whatever seems to attack it or be a threat to it, I'm going to kill it. Whereas I am Wayne's real wife, sent into his life by God. She didn't want the truth. She don't know how to respect God, respect God's plans, respect the woman of God. She didn't know anything about me before she set out on this path to try to destroy my life. You see? So that's ignorance in and of itself. Now, had I did something to her son or was wrong for his life or whatever, but of course, what God ordained, God ordains. So the reason why people say, well, why are you fighting so hard for Wheezy and you fighting so hard for this? Because I'm not going to let nobody take God's plans for my life. I've been serving the Lord a long time, way, way before I came to New Orleans in 2001. I've made sacrifices. I've gone through a lot of hell to get to the place where God says, now, okay, I have your husband for you. You see? So, no, I'm not going to let anybody steal that. You see? I'm not going to let nobody take the plans of God for my life because those are his plans for my life. Wayne has my name on him. That's my husband. Not because I say so, but because God says so. And God gives us a commandment through Jesus. Look up everything I'm telling you in the Bible. He gives us a commandment. Jesus said, what God has joined together, let not man put asunder. That's a commandment. I'm under a commandment from Jesus to not let man put our relationship asunder, because I know God has joined it together. And to put asunder means to separate, to let people get in between and to separate you. I'm not going to do that, because how could I sit here and let someone take God's plans for my life, or let someone separate me from the man of God? Not going to do it. Not now, not ever. Not going to let God's plans for my life be destroyed because a lost broad wants to pretend like she's me. She wants a place that is not hers. So this is why you see all of this. You see all of this because our relationship, me and Wayne's relationship, is of God. You're going to see more than this. See, the things of God have the earmarks of God. They're not going to be small. They're not going to be unknown. They're not going to be quiet. Jesus said, you are a city set on a hill. A city set on a hill cannot be hid. So if lies have gone out as far as they have through Toya, the truth has to go farther than that. So this is the reason why all of the videos, and there's going to be more and to be more. You see what I'm saying? Because God has to destroy every lie, and everyone who heard the lie has to hear the truth. That is God. That's not me. And people say, you keep saying God, 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 God. Because usually it's secular people who say that. Because you have to understand that the things of God are on a whole nother platform. They have different rules. They have... it's not compared to the secular. And this is the blasphemy right here. Is that, oh, this is so low and this is so evil right here. You have a relationship it's not even a relationship. I would say a situation. I don't know what you would call it. This thing with Toya that was born out of his Wayne's mother's child abuse on him when he was 15 years old. The reason why Toya came into his life is through his mother's child abuse. His mother forcing her minor 15-year-old child to have a child. That is abuse. So that's how Toya's entry is into Wayne's life, through abuse. Not through a high school love, not through anything like that. See, Wayne told the real story in Vibe November 2007, and he told it in detail. So anyway, you have this situation that was born out of child abuse trying to compete or even destroy the plans that was born out of the mind of God. That's blasphemy. That's true evil. That's beyond evil. That right there. And then you see the type of person that Toya truly is, not the one that she tries to portray to be, but the one she is. Well, we know she is a liar, a con artist, lying to mass amounts of people, deceiving their mind through pictures, knowing that you don't know the real story. So you're going to be deceived and conned and hoodwinked. So that tells you her character right there. She's willing to do this, and she's willing to do this long term, for years, for a life. Now, she can't build her life on this. She's actually destroyed her life. That destruction is just awaiting the day and the hour. The reason why is so much. See, I jump from one thought to the next because there's so much the Lord wants to say, and there's so much time that I have to make up for that to explain to explain to people what's been going on for all this time. To explain to people, there's so much time that has to be redeemed. They've really put themselves into a very horrific place, a place that I would never want to be. Now, I want to say this. A lot of what you hear, you're going to hear it repetitively. You're going to hear some of the things said, the same things said again. Now, that's a sign that I'm telling you the truth. Because there's one thing that does not change, and that is the truth. When you hear people tell a story and then it slightly changes and then it changes to something else, they're lying to you. Because the truth does not change. That's why it's always going to be the same. The things I'm telling you, with the exception of the roots and the witchcraft, because that's something I came into the knowledge of fairly recently, within the last several years or so. It's been coming to me more and more. The Lord is revealing it to me more and more, the things that they have done in that area. But the other things about God, about His Word and His plans and this and that, Wayne has heard this from me for years, since at least 2002. That's one of the things that scares him about me, is that it's so real. The things that are real and the things that are true, they do not change. I am the same person I was when I first met Wayne, saying the same things. When people listen to me, they notice, because I get emails and comments, and they tell me, I notice you keep when you telling this story, it's not changing. It's not going to change. You know why? Because I'm telling the truth. When you hear Wayne tell, and this is not Wayne, this is his mother's fault. Let me explain something to you. Oh God, I'm going from one thought to the next. I'm sorry that I'm taking you guys through so much ups and downs, and you're trying to follow me, and I keep changing and turning. But there is so much that I want to tell you. I'm trying to remember all my thoughts and have one cohesive thought, but just lots of truth is coming into my mind that I want to convey to you. So yes, Wayne has heard these things from me. He knows me. He knows my personality. He knows the things that I believe, and so on and so forth. And he's had a vantage point like no one else, because he knows his mom to a certain extent, and he knows me, And he's seeing God continuously speak through me all these years and never change. He does not know any other woman like me. He has not had any experience with another woman like me. As you can hear from the tapes when his friend is saying to me, and this is on my MySpace page, you know, Wayne is saying you're on another level. You see what I'm saying? Wayne is aware of me. He knows me. He knows me through and through. But I'm going to talk about that a little later. But yeah, its truth does not change. That's why God is the same yesterday, today, and forever. The truth is steady. It doesn't change. So when you hear Wayne tell one story to Vibe magazine in 2007 and another to VH1 about the same events, you have to know there's something not quite right there, you know, because history has not changed. And I'm not going to call my husband an outright liar because Wayne has been influenced to lie to the world by his mother. Some of the things that I'm going to tell you are going to seem unbelievable, but they are true. Wayne's mother works witchcraft on him to control him. She knows that with what she's coming against, his mother's coming against everything that I'm saying. She wants to make it seem like I'm lying. She can't do that because I have tapes. You see what I'm saying? And people who have reason and people who have common sense can just chop my words up, look at the story, listen to things that, put it together, listen to things that I'm pointing out to you from Wayne's own lips in his lyrics, in his interviews, that cannot be changed. You see what I'm saying? And you can put the story together and you can see what's going on. So, but at any rate, they're still, Toya and his mother are still going to try to make me out to be a liar. So what his mother does, and this is, I can't even go, I can't even explain to you how evil this woman is. Most of you guys who are hearing this, it's unbelievable evil. It's unbelievable evil. It's so unbelievable, and that's why it took me so long to see it. Like I said, they've been doing this evil ever since I came into Wayne's life in 2001. Trying to destroy me, trying to putting roots on me and putting roots on Wayne. And continuously, it's not like they did something a long time ago or they did something a couple of times or several times. They've been working continuous, listen to what I'm saying now, continuous witchcraft on Wayne's mind to try to control him to be against me, to speak against me, not to get in the media and say Angela is a liar, because they don't want him even to say my name. You dig what I'm saying? Because then if he says, well, if he gets into the media and says Angela is a liar, they're going to like, who's Angela? And then it's going to turn your attention to me. And then when you turn your attention to me, you're going to hear me speaking the truth. So they're not trying to get him to come against me in that way. They're just trying to make me out to be a liar by controlling Wayne's mind with witchcraft to get him to acknowledge Toya, to take pictures with Toya, to say he wanted to marry Toya. You see what I'm saying? So they know that people will listen to me, okay, and then they will, because Wayne is so, been in the industry so long, he's so well known, he's been known for a long time. You've seen his face and have known of him for a long time. You see what I'm saying? That you're going to be, and he's the man in the relationship. If he says it, you're going to be more apt to trust what he says over what I say. So his mother and Toya know that if they get in the media and say this, that I'm a liar, or they try to say, well, yeah, Toya is his true love, this, that, and the rest, it's not going to carry the weight that if Wayne said it. If Wayne says it, is going to carry weight. So then what his mother does is say, okay, I'm going to control Wayne. And this is not recently. She's been doing this. This is the evil that has been going on. She says, I'm going to control. I can't make him do anything because he has testosterone and he's going to rebel. And he's just like he jumped out of that marriage they tried to make him be in with Toya. He's going to rebel, put on a t-shirt that's in front of the world, rebelling because that's not what he wants. They keep trying to make it what he wants. So his mother has done that a lot through her own force on him, her own strong arming. So that doesn't work. So she says, okay, I'm going to make him do what I want him to do, and I will put roots on him to control him. This right here is unbelievable to most people, that a mother would put roots and witchcraft on her own son to control him. Well, why would she do that? She's trying because she wants her abuse that she put on him at 15, making him have a baby. She don't want it to be seen as, this is why I'm such a thorn in Jacita's ass. She does not want that story to be seen for what it is, because it points to her child abuse. She don't want y'all to see her child abuse. She wanted to seem like that was a relationship. And if you think that Wayne and Toya was a relationship and they were high school sweethearts, if you think all this, then it will cover up the true story of her abuse. You see? So she keeps trying to make it appear by putting pictures out there like, yes, he was down with this, and yes, he wanted this, and this was a relationship, and see, we're all happy and smiling. When you look at the picture smiling and they're together at his daughter's birthday party or whatever, that is put out there to put out an image that is not true. See, you see the effects of her abuse with Wayne having to constantly be on lean and drugs and sorrow that he sings about and pain. But ignore that. That's indescript. You dig what I'm saying? That's unknown why he's in all that pain. It's unknown why he has these drug issues. Let that be a mystery. That's just going to be a mystery. But it's not going to be traced to us, because when you look at pictures of us, you'll see pictures with me, his mama, and him and Toya, and we're smiling. So whatever the problem is, it's not us, when the problem is exactly them. But you can't see it because they're trying to deceive you with pictures. This is something his mother does not want you to know. They're trying to control your mind and how you think about the situation with pictures. They try to control Wayne's mind. You dig what I'm saying? This is I wanted my life, let me put you on this. I wanted my life to just be normal. I am a very normal person. I just want to be with my husband, do what the things that God wants me to do, and just live a normal life. But I'm seeing more and more that it's not going to be that way. You see what I'm saying? These things are the things that have to happen according to God's will. God's will is not going to be killed. It's not going to be demolished. So this thing now is coming into a big time battle, like an Armageddon type battle. God wins. God will always win. Good will win over evil. But because they kept challenging God's will and tried to kill God's will for so long, now they turned it into this big thing. They could have just had some sense and say, let me step back. Okay, my shit did not work. I tried to force my son to have a child. It was a wrong plan. He didn't want to be with the broad. Let me accept that. I did not put a gun to Toya's head and make her have the baby. Toya did have to say yes. Other girls said no. So Toya had the option to say no, but she didn't. So even though Jacita came up with the asinine plan, no one put a gun to Toya's head to say yes, do this. You see what I'm saying? It's so much to this. But it's getting to the point where I see the thing that I want to be known for to the world, if I'm going to be known for anything, is normalcy. And this is the exact opposite of the things that happen to my life. The things that happen to my life, they're not normal. It's just, I just can't have a normal life. That's just whatever. You think? I can't have a normal life. So now you have this situation because they refuse to get into the place that is theirs and stop trying to steal what is not theirs. Was one of the things that's motivating them, Toya and his mama, to keep trying to steal my place and to keep trying to front Toya out there to the world is because it looks like it had some measure of success. In other words, you've seen pictures out there so far. There's been a lot more people believing that Toya was his wife. You see what I'm saying? Toya got a TV show through her lies and through her fraud and deception, but nevertheless she got the TV show. So it looks like there's rewards. And for all these years prior to the TV show, prior to Toya coming out, for all those years, it seemed like they were able to successfully steal from my life. When they knew that Wayne is called to be in my life, it seemed like they were successfully able to take him out of my life. And they're never able to successfully take him out of my life. But it appeared to be because they were able to put roots on him to cause him to do things, to be at places at certain times with Toya that he never was called to do. In other words, they've seen results from their black magic. So by them seeing results for so long, and the reason why they saw those results for so long and they weren't stopped is because I did not know what was going on. Had I known what was going on, you never would have seen Toya come out because I would have stopped all that shit. But you can't stop something that you don't know is happening. You see what I'm saying? So that's why they feel they feel like they can go forward in their evil because it seems like they have been able to successfully get away with it for a long time. But the reality is they never were successful and able to get along to get away with it because the end is God has his way and they only were able to steal a little here and a little there and a little here through what I didn't know and what I wasn't aware of. Now I want the world to know this. This is one of the reasons right now what I'm about to tell you. This is one of the reasons why the devil tries so hard to keep me and to kill me from telling you what I'm about to tell you right now. He can only get away with things when you don't know. That's why they say knowledge is power. Just coming into the knowledge, just becoming into the awareness of what's going on, and it will stop things in the physical environment. They'll begin to change. You ain't moved the muscle yet. That's the power of knowledge. But they work on what you don't know. God himself in the book of Isaiah says, my people perish for lack of knowledge. My people perish for what they don't know. For so long I did not know. And they knew I did not know. That's why they were trying all the shenanigans. Now that I know, and now that I'm speaking this to the world, these motherfuckers are panicking. You dig what I'm saying? They're panicking because I came into the knowledge. But here's the thing. Because I didn't know, they seem to be getting away with so much that has encouraged them to keep going. Once you're in a momentum state, in other words, you've been able to get away with it. It's like a bank robber. He robs his first bank. He got away with it. He goes and does it again. He gets away with it. With each successful getting away with it, he's encouraged to keep doing it. Now, the real truth is he going to get caught one day and go to prison. But his mind is gone. You see, because he's gotten away with it for so long that it encouraged him to keep doing it. And then, boom, snake eyes. Time to go to prison. And it's like the gambler that sits at the slot machine all day. Hey, the Vegas, they'll let money fall out the first few times you do it. That's to encourage you to keep. It's a trap. Pretty soon, you mortgaging off your house. You dig what I'm saying? You can't see that. Because it got your mind. What encouraged you is your ability. It seems like it's working, it's winning, it's working, it's winning. God catches up and demolishes that. So this is a big catastrophe happening right now. And the reason why is because they would not let common sense enter into their head at any time and say, let's stop the bullshit. Let's stop the shenanigans. Wayne's mama is determined she's been a fucking imbecile. She's been stupid. Long before I came to New Orleans, she's been hard-headed. You dig what I'm saying? She's been stupid. And she thinks that there are simple solutions to complex problems. In other words, oh, okay, this girl Angela's in the way. We'll just kill her, get rid of her, put roots on her, do this, put this over here. See, they're trying to move people and situations around like a chessboard. They think they're queens of the universe. They don't realize they're fucktards and stupid. You dig what I'm saying? They think they're so powerful and they can move people around, and you would never see them do this. You see what I'm saying? Because they're working from a level of evil that is mainly hidden. Now, you know the devil don't like me telling this to the world because it reveals a lot of things. Look at this situation. By me revealing what his mother is doing, what does that tell you? It tells you what people do, what some people do. In other words, if there's someone listening to me and they've had black magic worked against them, but they never knew what it was, they just feel like, oh, I got bad luck, or oh, these things happened to my family, or oh, whatever. Then they hear me and they come into them and they start putting things together and they start realizing this person might have done this, and then they find ways of cleansing themselves and getting the shit off of them. The devil don't like that. The devil wants to be able to harm people undisturbed, and when there's a disturbance that comes in there and says, hey, you ain't doing this shit, he tries to battle them. That's what angels and demons are. Angels do the will of God. Demons try to stop them and do their evil. It's a battle. So if you want to see a spiritual battle, you don't have to look at the end of the world movies or War of the World or Armageddon or any of that. You can look at this situation right here because it is a clear indication of evil trying to battle good. And it's been going on for a long time. It seemed like I came out exploding. Who is this broad? She come out cussing people out. She come out saying all this shit. See, to y'all, it's like I just came out like an atom bomb. But what y'all don't know is this shit been going on for 10 years. The battle has been underneath the surface so you couldn't see it. When Toya used to call my house playing on my phone, when his mama was working black magic on him, still is, underneath the surface, you couldn't see none of that. You dig what I'm saying? So it looks like I just come out exploding, pow, 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 pow. You don't see what's been going on underneath the surface all these years. Wayne's seen it all. You dig what I'm saying? He's seen it all. But so here's the thing. People will say, well, they don't understand. They'll say, because there are women who throw themselves at men. There are women who, when a man don't want nothing to do with them, they can't get the message and they keep chasing that man. This is not it, boo-boo. This is not it. I see what it is. It is the things that Wayne says, anything that he says that is seemingly against our union, which he'll never going to just speak totally against because he knows it's of God on a level within himself. But the things, when he seems to be supporting Toya or acknowledging her, do you know what that is? That's not even Wayne's free will. That is years of his mother. Now, y'all, some of y'all ain't going to believe this, but this is the evil. This is true. It is years of his mother, his own mother, working, controlling roots on him to control his behavior. There are black magic roots. Look in any botanica, any shop that sells occult supplies, and you will find a whole line of products to control a person's behavior. They are not new. They've been around for hundreds of years, even before slaves came to this country. You dig? They are there for a reason, to control a motherfucker's free will. You dig? Did you hear on one of my videos on my MySpace page where in that movie Harlem Nights Red Fox is saying they'll bury your drawers and you can't leave? It's all kind of stuff that they do to control a motherfucker. You never see what they're doing behind closed doors. You're seeing the effects. So you're looking at Wayne saying, yeah, well, if Wayne says he's down with Toya, then that's all there is to it. And you're saying, but you're not seeing motherfuckers behind closed. They know you're not seeing it. You ain't seeing her, Jacita, behind closed doors controlling him and working roots on him. Now, here is the thing. That shit worked for a minute. But now I came into the knowledge of what's been going on. Since I've come into the knowledge, and more knowledge is revealed to me every day, even at this point, more and more knowledge is revealed to me every day. Since I came into the knowledge, what do you see? You already see breaking happening, the breaking of evil power. And one of the manifestations of that breaking of evil power is the fact that you are hearing my voice right now. Is the fact that there are YouTube videos up. Is the fact that there are MySpace videos up. You didn't see that 5 years ago. You know why? Because I wasn't aware of their roots 5 years ago. Had I been, you would have seen this. You dig? Some of the things that was happening in my relationship, I knew that they were weird and strange, and there was confusion. There was all kind of shit. It's all when we supposed to meet and meet up, and things was happening, and our paths couldn't cross, and all kind of evil demonic shit. I can't even don't even have the time to tell you. But I knew that that was evil, but I still didn't know that it was roots in black magic. And if I would have thought it's roots in black magic, I already know who would be doing it. It would be Jacita, and it would be Toya. There is no one else. See, all Jacita, her whole aim is to use Wayne's daughter that she made her 15-year-old son have as a minor, as a tool to control Wayne. Wayne, be with mama. Daddy, be with mama, and use her grandchild, use everything. Roots, her grandchild, Toya. It's a group of things that she uses. You dig what I'm saying? Not just one. Every little thing. Pictures, every little thing to try to steal a life from me that is ordained for me and to give it to Toya. To try to steal my glory and give it to Toya. You see what I'm saying? So all they're trying to do is steal a life that doesn't belong to them. Toya and his mama are in cahoots. They've been in cahoots. You dig? Jacita wants Toya to have my place. You see what I'm saying? And they've been trying to steal it from me. They've been trying to do this, and I'm refusing to have it stolen. In their mind, we already stole it because people calling Toya Carter because they don't know no better. You see what I'm saying? They didn't know what happened. They think that she was his first wife when they don't realize that's just a manifestation of black magic that occurred. Wayne's free will had nothing to do with him marrying Toya. He didn't marry her. Roots made that happen. It's like if I used roots to make an outcome happen. I made that outcome happen. You see, if you look at, I ask you to look at this movie called The Craft. And in that movie, this girl puts a spell on this boy to fall in love with her. He's following her. He's doing this. He's doing that. He don't even know what happened to him. And she says, look, snap out of it. I put a spell on you. You see what I'm saying? That happens. Now you say, well, that don't really work. It don't. But it does. You dig? It does as long as there's not something that comes up against that. And when I did not know about these things, I was not coming against it. So it seemed like it was quote unquote working. Although Wayne always reached out to me, although he always loved me, although he always professed that. And it's true because our relationship is of God. But the measure of quote unquote success that these roots were having was based on me not knowing what happened. You see? So when you see things, when you see wedding photos of Wayne and Toya, what you're seeing in Wayne is a manifestation of roots being put on him. And that confuses people because pictures were taken of that event. And so this is why you always see this back and forth, this confusion. When you look at the wedding photos, you see him looking like he's in love with her. That's a roots. That's black magic. That's not real. They did that to steal a proposal that he was going to give to me. This is the truth. But then you see shortly after that, Wayne wearing a t-shirt that says future ex-husband. That's him. That's the truth still trying to fight to come through. You see what I'm saying? It's always this back and forth. If you notice, when he's doing the interview in Vibe magazine in November 2007, he's telling you the real story. Immediately in the same interview, his mama is challenging and say, "Oh, she remembers it differently." Then a couple of years later, this supposed to go over y'all head. He gonna tell a whole other story to VH1 documentary, challenging what he said to Vibe magazine. Why is this back and forth? Because he's telling the truth, and they keep putting roots on him to tell lies, to ride for Toya. A lie that never was God's plans for his life. Something that came out of child abuse. So they keep trying to enforce it. Now, people say, well, spells work for only so long. They do. And so Wayne breaks out of that and says, future ex-husband. His soul knows that this is not supposed to be happening. But just like in the movie, the skeleton key, look at the movie. The old man that's in the movie, he had roots put on him. Now, at times, he's fighting it. He's getting out of the window. He's trying to get away. What is that? That's the truth coming forth. He's trying to fight it. What happens? That woman who's putting roots on him, she grabs him and puts more roots on him. They enforce the black magic. Enforce it. Enforce it. Yes, he fights it, but they enforce it. Yes, he fights it, but they enforce it. They keep enforcing it until he just says, fuck it, I'm not going to fight it. Fuck it. It's a lot of energy. It's too much work. And that's what they want, him to give up so that they can steal my life. And so that he don't have no more fight in him, because how he gonna fight this and then tour the world and make records and control young money and do this and do that? A person only has so much energy. So that's why now God sent me on their ass, because the shit that they tried on him, try it on me, bitch, and see what happened. You'll get fucked up. And that's what's happening. You're getting fucked up because you tried it on the wrong bitch. You dig? So the things that they were able to do to him, they tried it on me, and I fucked them up sideways because these bitches tried it on the wrong bitch. You understand what I'm saying? They don't get it in their mind. They can't. They're hard. They're determined to have a place. So that's not theirs. It never was there. So it's so much. All this deception has been going out to the world. The world. And this is the evil. The devil brings. This is how you know the devil, because what I said earlier. The things of God have the earmarks of God. Well, the things of the devil have the earmarks of the devil. Okay, what are the earmarks of God? The earmarks of God: truth, righteousness. You dig? Goodness. Those are the things of God. What are the things of the devil? Confusion, chaos, evil. You dig? Sorrow, sadness. Those are the things of the devil. Toya and Jacita bring the earmarks of the devil. They bring confusion to people's minds. A person emailed me just yesterday and said, I'm confused. You know why you ain't confused? Because of anything I said. Because the things I'm saying, they're steady. I'm saying the same truth thing from day one. You dig? Why you're confused is you have two broads, Jacita and Toya, who have intentionally deceived and confused you with pictures. You dig? With a lot of things. So they're showing you the earmarks of the devil: confusion, chaos. And here's the sad thing is, this is why this thing is so big, is Toya took her lie far. She took her lies and her deceptions and her con artistry to television. She took it to magazines. She took it to cable. You dig what I'm saying? So this is how much evil she has to account for. It's one thing to lie to a person or a group of people. Another thing to get on TV and tell the world mass amounts of lies. Tell Wayne's fans all kind of lies and confuse them and deceive them. So they see me because they've seen her, the lie, up in the media on TV. So when they see the truth, it's like, who am I? See, she loves that. When people are asking, who am I? And I'm his real wife. Been here the whole time. She's the one pretending to be me. It's been that his mother never liked me. She wouldn't like anything that challenged her plan. But now, you dig, she really doesn't like me because I've been exposing her evil. You see what I'm saying? And she was comfortably seated behind closed doors in the dark, doing her evil undetected. So now you've exposed the place that the devil was using. And this has been, all the people around Weezy, and a lot of them have not seen who was the reason for the sorrow, for the sadness. Let me explain something to you. What happened with me and Weezy in 2008. In 2008, there had been a series of communication between Wayne and I. Now, I know what Wayne is thinking without him even opening up his mouth. You dig? Telepathically, I know what he's thinking. That's how connected me and Wayne are. Now, I know what I say to him and the things, how they affect him or whatever. There was anger in me toward Wayne in 2008. And I said a lot of things because I was responding to the roots that were placed on him and I. I didn't know about it back then. You see what I'm saying? So, in other words, Wayne is taking the brunt and the blame for things that he can't even control. In other words, he's doing. So a lot of people will say, man, I got so much to say. A lot of people will say, well, if a man is screwing around on you, that's just a man screwing around on you, and black magic ain't got nothing to do with it. Oh, yes, it does. Now, it don't have nothing to do with it in most situations, but then again, this ain't most situations. You see what I'm saying? Good Lord, it's so much I want to say. his mother put these things on him. So he's taking the blame for things that he's doing that he don't even understand, and sometimes that he don't even want to do, but he can't help it because she put roots on him. So she does not care if he takes an insult, argument, blame for something she's doing, causing his behavior behind closed doors. Has every single little thing been that Wayne has done been according to black magic? No, but most of it have, and I'm going to explain all that. But he's taking the blame, and she don't care if he takes the blame. She don't care what it does to him as long as she gets her way. His mother is sick. She's a control-hungry, power-hungry type of person, and she never really had power and control in her life, so she sees her son as a tool. Instead of as a son, someone to love and respect, she sees him as a tool to use, to have power and to have control and to maneuver him. And even when she sees pain from that, from Wayne, pain, sorrow, suffering in his soul, she doesn't stop. This is the evil. Wayne said in the interview, y'all can check everything I'm saying out and research it. He said, if you understand me, you know more about me than I do, because I don't even understand me. The confusion that he has in understanding himself is that he did not understand his mother was behind closed doors working witchcraft on him to control his behavior. It fucks with your mind, to control your mind and the way you think. I know it fucks with you because they try to do it to me, and I know how that feels. What I know that they're trying to do it, I'm aware of it because I'm in the Lord, and the Lord reveals all things to me, and I break it off of me, and I break it off my husband, and that shit coming off my husband. It's already began to come off my husband, by the way. Yes, it has. Just the fact that this truth is coming out there is breaking off my husband. But me, I feel the effects of what they try to do, controlling my mind. It's like when they send spirits to you. Y'all may not believe this, but it's true. There are people who send demons and spirits to other people. And then when those demons and spirits come to a person, a lot of times they're clueless because they don't know nothing about the spiritual world. They're just living on this earthly plane, going to work, doing this, doing that. And all of a sudden, all hell starts breaking out in their life, and they don't know what it is. And even if they know what it is, they don't know how to fight it. So when these spirits they send try to come to me, try to come through my mind, I'm aware of what it is. You dig what I'm saying? And I rebuke it. You dig what I'm saying? They're trying to send something against somebody who is filled with the Holy Spirit, who got all kind of prayer warriors with her, who got all the church with her, they don't even know what they're fucking with. But they keep trying to destroy the things of God because they're of the devil. That's a telltale sign of when someone is of the devil. They try to destroy the plans of God. His mother is truly of the devil. This is why people haven't seen her, because you think if there is a problem in a person's life, if there's a problem in Wayne's life, the last person you're going to expect is his own mother. And you know why? Because a mother is supposed to love you. A mother is supposed to protect you. A mother is supposed to nurture you, lead you in the right direction, so on and so forth. Not put black magic roots on you to control your behavior. See, Wayne, that's not what mothers do. And this is why she knew you would never suspect her. It's why she felt so confident to do what she did, because you'll never think, well, his mama is the problem in his life, especially when you look at pictures and you see him next to her smiling and all looks well. There's some other secret, hidden, unknown, mysterious issue in Wayne's life that's causing him all this pain, even though he's only in his 20s, and he's been rapping about pain since he was 16, since his very first solo album. And where all this pain from, I guess it's coming from being raised up in the inner city, in the hood, and you see things and your friends pass, or you have struggles in the hood, and this is where all this pain. No, I was born and raised in the hood. You dig what I'm saying? I've seen all kind of shit. You dig what I'm saying? You can tell that the pain that Wayne is expressing is beyond the place that he's grew up in. You dig? A lot of bad things do happen in New Orleans. Friends die, people die. That happens. Unfortunately, that's common. But if you look a little deeper, you see it's more than that he's rapping about. You see what I'm saying? There's more pain than that. So where's all this unknown, indescript pain coming from? Did anybody ever ask that? When you look at pictures and you see Wayne always having a cup of lean, why is he singing Young and Blues? He's singing this and he's doing that. Why? You dig what I'm saying? Because the Young and Blues was a song that I inspired, but that's because his mother was working witchcraft on us back then to try to break up our relationship and make us argue. Yes. So she's the cause of so much pain, and yet people can't see where it's coming from. Just see that his mama is the cause of so much confusion and chaos. It's the devil using her. You dig what I'm saying? But she's been a vessel of the devil for a long time. Long before I came into Wayne's life. She uses Wayne. Wayne wasn't nothing to be used. That's why she could drop him with his grandma and forget about him. That's why Wayne says she forgot about me. She forgot she had a son. Wayne's own words in November 2007, Vibe magazine. She forgot she had a son. He telling you. It's leaking out. You dig what I'm saying? It's leaking out through songs and stuff, but y'all ain't nobody putting it together. You dig? But it's for me to understand this because I'm his wife. Who else gonna really understand it the way I do? You dig what I'm saying? So he's been rapping about it and he's been singing about it. You see what I'm saying? But people ain't been putting it together. It's her. You would never suspect her, but it is her. Long before Toya came into his life, his mama already abandoned him. He said that himself. See, people think they shoo it off, especially in the black community in the inner city. Oh, well, women got to go to work. My mama worked a lot. You dig what I'm saying? They got kids. They got to go to work. You know, a boy can feel like he's abandoned or whatever. But you know, a woman just working that she loves her son. No, it's not that. You dig? He's making a point to say this years after the fact because he's saying something that's significant. See, a lot of times, especially men, they won't holler, they won't scream. But what they're saying, they're screaming when they're really just saying a sentence or they're whispering. They're really screaming, but you're not hearing it. He's saying this bitch abandoned me and forgot she even had a child. That's real. You dig? And that's showing you, it's pointing to her evil. Then, you know, people say, well, yeah, he got shot, but that was an accident. I mean, she didn't mean to shoot him. It's showing you her carelessness and her callousness. It never even occurred to her, hey, it never even occurred to her, my son is in the house alone. What if he finds the gun? I mean, I loaded a live round in the chamber. I ain't even tell him it was there. She didn't care about him. She didn't think she didn't have no caring for Wayne. You dig what I'm saying? And he knew it and he felt it. And he expressed it. You dig? So it wasn't like, well, you know, it was an accident and she didn't shoot him. She didn't mean for him to find it. No, she didn't. But the point I'm trying to make is it just goes to show her lack of even care or concern where it never even occurred to her, hey, I have a live round in the chamber and a gun, and what if my son stumbled upon it? Maybe I should. None of that ever occurred to her because she didn't give a fuck. That's why after he got shot and he was 12 years old, on to the next, 3 years later when he was 15, have a baby for me. Because I want a baby. Didn't give a fuck what it did to his life. Didn't give a fuck how he felt about it. And when he tried to protest, Mom, I ain't got nobody I like that. Find somebody. That's from Wayne's lips in November 2007. And that's the truth. That's her. She gonna make her plans happen. It don't give a fuck what happens to Weezy. And then later on, as he gets more and more famous, just take pictures and pretend, like, Belle, you better take pictures with me and pretend like everything's all right so you don't see her evil. It's abuse. See, so many people, especially in the black community, in the inner hood, in the inner city, they just shoo it off. Abuse is abuse. You don't shoo it off. You dig? Your mind ain't less valuable. You don't supposed to take abuse just because you're black. See, it's so much that has happened to us in this country as a people as a result of slavery that we learn to live with shit that we ain't ever supposed to live with. And when somebody points it out, like abuse, oh, well, you know, that's just what, you know. No, this one above and beyond. Even black folk in the inner community got to say, hey, wait a minute, that's kind of fucked up. She make her son have a child at 15 years old. Now, even in the inner city, they're like, damn. But that's just one thing. Then she goes on to try to force him with her. He didn't want to be with Toya. Then she going to try to, when real love come into her life, into his life, what she do with me? We just going to kill her. That's the solution to that. See, she thinks there are simple solutions to complex problems. Just kill her. Okay, we're just going to put rules on her. That'll solve that situation. And then we'll just put him with you. And then if he resists, we just going to work roots on him. It's real simple. It is real evil. Oh, but there's a problem when it's like there's a problem when the truth keeps trying to rise. That's me. She keeps showing up. She won't be killed. Her voice is still out there. Well, we'll just keep enforcing the roots. See, they didn't plan on all this. They didn't plan on all this. They're too fucking stupid. They're too bent on, I'm going to get my way. I'm going to get my way by any means necessary. You dig what I'm saying? It's dawning on these stupid broads a little bit, but they're still trying the dumb shit. That you're not going to kill God's plans. You're not going to kill me. You fucked up royally. And now everything you did from the beginning is being exposed. Because it was all planned out by God. You dig? This whole thing was written like a script by God. I often looked at my life long before I came to New Orleans, and it looked like, damn, is God a screenwriter, a movie director, a producer? Because it sure looked like my life is a story. You dig what I'm saying? And I'm just acting it out, and God is behind all this. But the whole thing is a story. This is a movie. People know this is a movie. They know this is beyond the norm. You dig what I'm saying? But my life has always been that way. I could have had a movie about my life before I came to New Orleans for the things that happened in California. It's always been this way. The devil been trying it on me since I was a kid. You see? But this is it's a deception to people's mind. So and just see this, and just because they put the deception out there to trick you with pictures and whatever. So Toya did never come to see b.e.t. been deceived, sister to sister. Anybody, either they have been deceived and they don't know it, or for whatever strange reason they do know it and they don't give a fuck. It's either one or the other. But if you partner with someone or put someone on the cover of your magazine once you know the truth or you've heard the truth, you did, and but you, it's some kind of business deal where you feel like you can make money or this, that, or the rest, you're really selling your soul to the devil. Now, God gives a certain amount of pass to people who don't know the truth and who have aided and abetted Toya in her lies unknowingly. You did, because God knows you did not know. You were deceived and you were tricked. He knows that. You dig what I'm saying? But for people who know the truth and it really resonates with them, and they still try to assist her in bringing out lies, they are bringing judgment upon themselves. See, let me tell you something about Jacida and Toya. They bring hell into people's lives, yet the people can't detect where the hell comes from. Some people bring hell into your life. They didn't do nothing. They didn't pull a knife on you. They didn't shoot you. They just came into your life, and all of a sudden hell came with it. All of a sudden bad things start happening. You ain't never tracing it to it. You're not making a connection between the things that just started happening in your life and the timing of this person that just came into your life. They brought hell with them. Some people bring the gates of hell with them, and you partner with them, you become friends with them, and you can't see what you befriended. You dig? And all of a sudden you going to jail, you having marriage problems, when everything was okay before them. You dig? You ain't made the connection because it don't seem like there's a connection to be made. Well, how can someone just come into your life and all kind of hell start breaking out? Look at Damien in The Omen. He just come into the room and shit start happening. He brings hell with him. There's some people that hectic. That's how Jacida is. You see the effects of her, lots of confusion in a lot of motherfuckers' lives, never seeing who it is. And she knows it. She's sitting from her place looking at y'all not knowing. You look at Toya doing interviews. Sitting down doing an interview. Look at her talking to Jamie from Sister to Sister when she first came out lying and defrauding the world. She looking right at Jamie, looking at her, seeing that this woman can't detect me. You dig what I'm saying? I'm just going to tell her this, and y'all ain't going to be none the wiser. Let me tell you something about what she said in that interview, y'all. She said, she talking about when Wayne proposed to her. Now, she ain't telling you she made that happen, that he never did that under his free will. Why he even put the t-shirt. She ain't never going to highlight him putting a t-shirt on that says future ex-husband. She's never going to highlight where he says, in the song On the Grind, I ducked my baby mama, talking about Toya, because that's the only baby mama back then. He when he's writing, he's ducking her. She never gonna highlight the fact that when he's on the cover of Blaze magazine with his daughter when she was a little baby, Toya ain't nowhere in sight, that you never seen Toya. She never gonna highlight that. She never gonna highlight at the time of the marriage, which was only 2004. It's a fake marriage. It's not a real marriage. At the time in 2004, that's just a year before Katrina. And Wayne was world famous everywhere, but you never heard of Toya. She never going to highlight those things because that's going to out her. You're going to start asking yourself questions. It's a whole lot of things I could highlight here. I don't have the time to even do it. You dig that? Poke holes in her story and point to the fact that she's a fraud. You dig what I'm saying? She's never going to highlight those things. She's going to sit there, and she sat there and lied to Jamie because she knew Jamie couldn't, no one could fathom this. Just like in the Skeleton Key. That girl knew something was wrong, but her mind could not even go to the place. You did? And look at that movie, boo. Y'all say this is a movie, it's not real. No, boo boo. This is how evil they are. This man, for those who've seen the movie, is looking at her and saying, yeah, this stuff that they're doing, they're hanging these bones and they're doing this stuff ain't all real, it's in their mind. This nigga is the king of black magic. But he like, yeah, this stuff ain't real. See, they play with your mind. They're masters at playing with your mind. That's one thing they do down there in New Orleans is they want to see where your mind is at. That way, if they see where your mind is at, they know what they can do. It's trickster. You have to be very sharp, very aware, very streetwise. Even with streetwise, it's still a different way of doing things that they do. This is one of the reasons why the devil didn't want you to hear me, because then you'll be up on game. You dig? It's a mind fuck. And what's bringing the confusion to mass amounts of people is these broads, Toya and Jacita, are lying to y'all through pictures. Abuse, Wayne's mama's abuse have been screamed. It had been screaming. If you really look and put it together, she don't want you to see that. You dig what I'm saying? That's why they hate my living guts, because I'm the only thing that's outing these bitches. You dig what I'm saying? They hate my living guts. They hate them. You dig? They hate them because I reveal the truth to Wayne. They want to keep him in the dark. This is the sadness and the sickness. Toya is so pathetic that they have to work roots on Wayne to keep him in confusion, to keep him subconscious. In other words, living but keep his awareness down. See, people don't realize that other people can do these things, that these things are even possible. It is possible to keep. Let me explain something to y'all. Okay, for people who don't know, I know I'm putting y'all up on a lot of game. It is possible to keep a person, for a person to keep another person unaware, in confusion. Or if not in confusion, just unaware of things through black magic. You dig? And so the person is feeling all the pain. The person who's been the victim of the black magic, they're feeling all the pain of being unaware. In other words, there's pain coming into their life through the decisions they're making, but they can't see what they're doing. See, what they want to do and what they've been trying to do to my husband, to my God-given soulmate, this is why they're getting fucked up. Because you reached into my life. You touched my man. You touched God's plans for my life. You're getting fucked up. You touched my man. That's my husband. You tried to trick and deceive the world into making them think he's your husband. He's Toya's husband. He never was. Toya was never called to be in his life. You keep trying to establish something that God did not establish. And God keeps fucking it up and letting the people know what you're about. You try to touch my man. So they tried to keep my husband in the dark. So Wayne, that's why when you hear Wayne in interviews saying he doesn't understand himself. So a person is going through all the pain of making decisions, from receiving the consequences of choices they made in darkness. In other words, they can't see what they're doing. They can't see what's bringing the pain. Let me tell you something, boo, man. When you're on the wrong road in life, particularly when the right road already showed up. I am the right road for Wayne. His mother, this is the evil, gets him off of the right road onto a wrong one, and a long one that's filled with making decisions that will bring catastrophe, pain, suffering, heartache, confusion, evil, consequences. You go on down the line. Now, God sees. Now, let me ask you something. What do you think a person is what's going to be the fate of a person? What is a person going to receive who has done all this evil to their own child, to their own son? You'll say, what mother, once her son has found the right path, would intentionally get him onto a wrong one, an evil one? You say, well, if she got him off of the right path, she in her mind, she probably thought she was doing something good, because she said, well, he needs to be with his baby mama and his daughter. So in her mind, she thought she was doing something good. You think? Okay, let's use that analogy. Okay, you think she thought she was doing something good when she put black magic on me, a Christian woman. She didn't know I was a Christian woman. But at any rate, black magic on me, on a woman she never even knew. Never even knew nothing about. Never knew if I did something bad to Wayne. You did? Do you think she thought she was doing something good when she forced her 15-year-old child to have a child? You think she thought that was the right to Toya was not in his life yet. It was just whoever, find somebody. So you think she was thinking that she was doing something good and positive? Okay, so well maybe she didn't think of the consequences of what that would bring. Okay, when her son tried to protest to her, he didn't have anybody. You think she thought, well, I'm going to make him do it anyway, and that's going to be good for him? Do you think when she left him and forgot she had a son years before that, she was doing something good? Do you see what I'm saying? So when she tried to she put roots on Wayne to force him go over his free will, his love for me that he had and has, to kill that and to make him marry Toya. Do you think she was thinking she was doing something right? Okay, so when he protested and put on a t-shirt that said future ex-husband and saying, I don't want this, mama. And you think by her still trying to force him to be with Toya that she was doing something right? Still? Okay, so when he divorces Toya and his mama still try to kill our relationship and try to still make him be with Toya, do you think she was thinking she was doing something right? When she saw her son in pain on lean because he's on the wrong path and knowing he's doing these things because he was in love with me, happy, at peace in his soul, and now she sees she tried to separate him from me and force someone to the wrong road, do you think she was thinking, I'm doing the right thing? Even now, when she's working black magic on her son to control him, to make him get in the media and acknowledge Toya against God's plans, you think she still thinks she's doing something? At what point will you say this bitch knows she's doing evil and she's doing it anyway? She knows she's doing evil. You got to be a total fucktard. This is what people don't understand. They don't think that if a person become aware of they're doing something wrong, because the average person is like this. If they're doing something and it's bringing harm to people, but they don't know it, then they can become aware of it and say, oh, well, let me stop. That's the average person. You're not going to think that a person going to knowingly, intentionally do evil. You don't even think there's people who exist like that. Yes! There's too much telling her this is wrong, it's evil. She don't give a fuck. Lay all that down, I'm going to have my way. It's why she's going straight to hell. You dig? Because the stupid bitch can't hear nothing. She can't hear her son's pain. She can't hear circumstances. She refused to hear me. She refused to hear anything. She's dead set, I'm going to make this happen. That's why this bitch getting fucked up. She has hell awaiting her because the bitch who won't listen. It shows how hard-headed she is in her evil. She will listen to nothing. She's stupid. She's gone. Her mind is lost. In her mind, she's still going to make it happen. And God, this is why it gets to this height now. Because God got to fuck it up. You dig? He got to destroy all that was not his plan. See, by Wayne getting away from me, by her forcing him off the right path, by putting black magic on her own son to be with Toya, it got him off the right path. So even, it's like she still can't see that that's not God's will. You dig? Can you see, stupid bitch Jacita, that Wayne didn't want to be with her? Your shit didn't work? And you still gonna try to force him to be with her? And if she ain't trying to force him to be with her, she trying to force him to acknowledge that marriage as real. Still trying to have my place, and God is destroying all that. He's showing the people the truth, how that came about. They fuck with your mind so long and brought so much confusion and destruction into people's lives. Can't you see the shit didn't work? You just keep trying to make it like it was good. It was never good. Child abuse is never good. When you see any pictures of a quote-unquote wedding with Wayne and Toya, you are looking at evil manifested. It don't appear to be evil. It looks like a wedding. It's evil because it's something that happened as a result of black magic. Wayne did not know this. He knew that he didn't want to be in it. He put on the t-shirt. You see the effects of him saying, I don't want this. He never told the world about her. All that is pointing to the truth. He never wanted that. You dig? But that still didn't convince Jacita. Fuck Wayne's voice. She never respected his voice. She never respected her son. She never did. Not just recently, not with our relationship. Not all these 10 years she's been putting roots on me and trying to destroy our relationship, even though she's heard her son say, he loves me. He's in love. He's happy. She saw all that and tried to kill it anyway. She never respected his voice. She always tried to kill it. You dig what I'm saying? When he said he wanted to rap, you ain't going nowhere with that. Everything she tried to kill. You dig? She's a stupid ass. She never respected his voice. Wayne doesn't know what it's like to supposed to have a mother. He don't know what a real mother is like. He doesn't know it because all he's had is abuse from this woman. Her denying his voice, her denying his feelings. He doesn't even know that his feelings are supposed to be honored and respected. They've abused him so long and just tried to ride their plans over him. He don't even realize when he feels something, it's supposed to be respected. When he loves someone, it's supposed to be respected. When he has an idea, it's supposed to be respected, not destroyed, not kicked to the side, not made it look like, well, this don't mean nothing. I'm just going to do what I want to do. Let's ignore him. He doesn't know this because he's never been respected by his mama. You dig what I'm saying? And the sad thing is, because he never had his biological father and his mother's been abusive, it kind of opens up a door for other people to come in and abuse you because that's what you know. That's what you're used to. See, when you're used to abuse, you can sometimes think abuse is right, or at least it's more familiar to you than someone who respects you and honors you. And so you may reject someone who respects you and honors you because you're not used to being honored. That's foreign to you. People begin to be comfortable with what's familiar to them, even if it's dysfunctional, even if it's abuse. You dig? So she opened up the door for other people to come and abuse him because he wasn't used to having his voice respected. I know what I'm talking about. You dig? Because I've had my own childhood abuse. You see? So that's one thing me and Wayne have in common. We actually have a lot of deep things in common. But, yeah, she never did respect his voice. It didn't start with me. You know, she never did respect his feelings. She never did respect having a son. That's why it's so evil for her to try to get on TV and give advice to other people and have a TV show. She ain't no one to give advice to nobody. She's supposed to be in prison for getting her son shot and killed, negligence, and leaving a firearm in the house with him with a live round in the chamber, and he not even knowing about it, and him finding it and nearly killing himself and being on life support. She's supposed to go to prison and have her child taken away from her. Because when something like that happens, it shows you're too stupid to own a gun. You don't know how to have a firearm around a child. You dig what I'm saying? You don't know what you're doing. And that showed when he damn near lost his life. So she's just a calamity-causing person. If it wasn't for God protecting Wayne and God having angels over him, he would have been done in. So she opened up the door for him to just receive abuse and think that it's normal. He has to learn that that's not normal. You see, that's all she ever did was abuse him. And it didn't start, like I said, when I came into his life. So she's the problem, everybody. Now, when you see, this is the evil. This is her evil. See, when you, one choice and you have repercussions that go on and on and on and on. Well, the thing about Nivea and all these other broads, that is all a result. All of that stems from Jacita getting Wayne off the right path in the first place. And so by her putting roots on our relationship and trying to keep our paths from crossing and trying to destroy God's plans for our life in being together, Wayne is just now, he can't be with Toya because that's not God's will. The stupid bitch put her son on the wrong path. He couldn't be with Toya. You dig what I'm saying? So that's what she man, I want to slap the fuck out this bitch. She put roots trying to force him away from me to be with Toya, and the shit didn't work. It blew up in her face, stupid bitch, because you wasn't getting the message. It's not gonna work. You dig what I'm saying? So now she put roots on our relationship to keep our paths from crossing. I'm telling you, let me tell you something, y'all. I'm telling y'all what happened in the past. The future, God is destroying. It's not even the future, it's now. God is destroying all this evil. He's doing it through me right now, through you listening to this. This is the manifestation of God destroying all the evil. But these things that I'm talking about to y'all, about the roots and all that, they happened in the past because I didn't know. So I'm telling you what happened. I'm not saying God's plans were challenged by the devil and the devil won. No, the devil already defeated. But what I'm saying is these are the things that happened when I didn't know what was going on. So anyway, so she puts roots on him to keep us from being together. And trying to force him with Toya, and the shit didn't work, stupid bitch. And so now her son is out in the world looking for me, subconsciously, out there being promiscuous. You dig what I'm saying? And just lost and in pain. And that's when y'all start seeing the lean and the sadness and the teardrops and the this and the that, because his soul belongs with me. And so he feels that loss, that disconnection, and he feels a lot of pain, but he don't know where it's coming from. Once you find God's plans and your soulmate, and somebody tries to tear you away from that, you're dying. That's why he said in the song, I feel like dying. You dig? I feel like dying. You dig? This is what his mama. This is all a result of his evil ass mama. Believe it or not. So now he's out in the world wandering, looking for love when he already has it, but he can't see it in me. Why couldn't he see it in me? He could see it in the sense of, if y'all was, and I should just put my caller ID up here on the page, where you can see how many times he's calling me, trying to reach me. You see, he's reaching out to me, calling me, reaching me, because that's the truth of his life. I am the truth of his life. And these evil motherfuckers try to kill it. So he's out in the world going through other broads. See, this is the evil right here, y'all. This is what I mean when I say, just see, that causes calamity. He's out there now with other broads, and he's finding no satisfaction, and then you see him having babies with various broads. And it's making no rhyme or reason to anybody. Say, well, we chalk it up to him being a rock star. They drop babies, and they have baby mamas. It's not that. And this is why you see the pain. See, one thing about Wayne is, if you look at him compared to other rappers, there's always some type of intense pain accompanying his life. But nobody knows where it's coming from. It's coming from his mama and her putting roots on him and making him walk in the wrong direction when God's plans were already manifest for his life. And once you taste God's plans, like he did with me, and then you're torn away from them, you begin to die. You begin to be sorrowful. You begin to be sad. You begin to need something to heal that pain. This is all the evil that his mother did to him. And so he's out in the world, and she knows he's lost. She knows this is the evil. She knows he's supposed to be with me. They knew that. That's why they tried to kill me, because they knew how intense our love is. That's proof positive by them putting roots on me that they knew the power of our love. You dig? And they know where he belongs, and this is the evil. They smile at him being lost on the wrong path. When I say these people don't love him, they don't love him, because you cannot do that to someone that you love. So they see that I am his real wife, and they put him on the wrong path. And if Toya can't have him, which she never can, they hate me so much that if he's with other broads and it's hurting me, they're smiling at that. Because even though Toya couldn't have him, he's still doing wrong by me, and they rejoice in that because they rejoice in evil. They don't rejoice in the plans of God happening. They don't rejoice in two people who are meant to be together to be together. They're mad because I'm his real love, and she never could be that. Although she tried to trick people, although she put pictures out there, she tried to force him to marry her. She did all of this and still trying to convince the world that she's me. And she can't. She don't have that real love. That's why I put these tapes on here to show you when Bingo, Wayne's friend, is saying he loves you. He loves you so much. And Wayne is singing to me. You can see our love is real. It's real from God. They hate it because his mama couldn't make him have that love for Toya the way he had it for me. She hates it because I am God's plan for his life, and Toya ain't. And Toya is still angry and mad, but you're not seeing that anger manifest as anger. You see in her still trying to destroy my life. Still trying to front to the world like she's me, still putting wedding pictures out there of something she made happen, trying to make it real in her mind and real in the people's mind, and steadily tricking them and deceiving them. If you hear me, you will hear why Wayne has the pain that he has. You will put this shit together. You will put the pieces together, and it will fit because it's the truth. You couldn't imagine the things that I have suffered and gone through to get this word out to you. And so Wayne can have some understanding of himself. They tried in every way to block the truth, to kill it and to put lies out there. So Wayne is out in the world, and he's looking for what he already has. He can't see it because they put black magic on him to keep him from seeing me. So if he goes off and have babies, and they trying to destroy my life. Well, Toya couldn't do it, so they're satisfied if other broads do it. But those other broads don't know that Jacita and Toya have been working black magic on Wayne. They can't even see why Wayne has come into their life. Because his mama got him off the right road. He couldn't find the road to me, his real wife, so now he's out there lost. He feels the pain of it, but he doesn't know why, because they intentionally kept his mind from seeing. You dig? With the black magic in the root. So he can't even see where the pain or why he has pain or the choices he's making. He's just looking for relief through sex, through various broads. And they're thinking they have a relationship with him. They don't know I'm his real wife and his mama got him off the path a long time ago. And so Wayne is out here now. They're happy because he's having babies with various women because they're supposed to destroy my life and say, look, you ain't all that. Look, he having babies with other broads. Look, y'all love wasn't all that. When all that is a result of them getting him on the wrong path and lost and confused. This is how evil these bitches are. This is how jealous they are. This is how hateful they are because they can't be me. These are people who telling you that they love him, who tricking him, who taking pictures with him with a t-shirt that says world's best dad like Toya did, and steadily trying to kill his real wife and his real love because she's jealous. That's not love, people. That is not love, to put roots on your son, to control him to do what you want him to do. And even when you see it don't work and it's causing him pain, you're going to do it anyway and just try to force him to deny the truth and his real love. That's not love. That's control. That's manipulation. That's wanting to be seen on TV as somebody great and somebody good. This is the evil. They did all this evil, and Jacita want to be on TV because people don't know none of this, and she want to give advice to other people after she did all this. She's done so much evil, you ain't even heard all of it on this tape. Her and Toya. You dig? Tricking the world. Deceiving the world. Deceiving b.e.t. Conning them. Using my last name. Because y'all don't know no better. And Wayne is steadily the one who suffers. Our relationship has suffered. They rejoice in that. But it ain't gone past the point where God ain't healing it, bringing it all back, telling the truth to the world, exposing these motherfuckers and the evil that they have done, and putting it all back together like it never even happened. Because he restores. God restores. God redeems the years that the locust has eaten. He that began a good work in me shall perform it until the day of Jesus. And shall not God avenge his own elect, which cry day and night unto him? I tell you, he will avenge them speedily. They fucked with the wrong person. They tried to destroy God's plans. They damn near destroyed Wayne's mind. But I plead the blood of Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus the Christ, over my husband, over my life, over my marriage. And every demon in hell that tries to destroy it be cast into the pit of hell, to suffer and burn in torment forever. You will not have God's plans for my life. Everything Toya got, she got tricking people, making them think she's Mrs. Carter. That's a lie. From the pit of hell, y'all. Y'all believe pictures. You were deceived. I'm sorry you were deceived, but as soon as I knew and understood what was going on, as soon as this fraud came out to sister on that first magazine cover, I began to speak it on the message board on sister to tell the world this is a lie. She's a liar. She's a fraud. She's a con artist. I'm not going to quit telling the truth. She's not me. She's lying to you. And the deception has gone on so long with so many things to deceive you, to make you think a certain way. And using Wayne and seeing the pain and seeing his suffering and not giving a fuck. They didn't give a fuck about Wayne. They didn't care about him. They don't care. All they want is control and power and to be in the media. They didn't give a fuck about Wayne from day one. It's about getting their plans done by any means necessary. Wayne has been so used and so abused for so long, he can't even see it. He don't know what right is. You dig? His own mother did this to him. And this is the evil. But look, bitch, Jacita, you are exposed to the world, bitch. What you tried to hide is now exposed to the world. You was working in the dark, thinking no one would ever detect your ass because you're his mother, and you thought you had some kind of immunity because you're his mother. But you're a liar. You have no immunity. You're evil. And you will be punished and judged. And you see. You know the truth. But you exposed now. The world that couldn't see you can see you now. They couldn't see what was bringing the hell, but they can see it now. You've been exposed.